Okay, so moving on to our final task, which is in word processing, task B4. It says over here, open a new word processing document, enter these details in the header, and then save the document as task B4A. So we come to our folder, we right click, and we come to new Word document. And over here, we put the title task B4A, just task B4A, right? Yeah. So Sam let's insert the header as well. So double click, open up the header, task B4A, your name, your candidate number, and your center number. And then let's close the header and footer. Then it says over here, Sam wants you to create a fact sheet to show the prices of ski lessons. Okay, you're supposed to create a fact sheet. Okay. Use the fact sheet document for this task. So you should have a document called fact sheet. So you will be using this to get the content for your task. Okay. Right. Here over here, they say the instructions are in italics. Okay. So you know, okay, this is the heading. This is a subheading. This is a bullet. This is a sub bullet. Okay. 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 So this needs to be created in a table format. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Then it goes on to say, use the fact sheet. We've done that. Create the fact sheet. The fact sheet must follow the design shown on the fact sheet document. The fact sheet must fit on one side of A4 and include the heading, information, and table. Okay. So pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Shall we get started? So welcome to the ski run. That should be the heading. So let us put that. Welcome to the ski run. Okay, so we'll make this the heading. So we can come over here and make this the main heading. Okay, from styles. Then the next thing is they say, sorry, where is the fact sheet? Ski lessons offered should be a subheading. Ski lessons offered. So let's come ski lessons offered. So we can make this heading number 2, which is a subheading. Okay. Then we need the private should be coming next. So now we have a bulleted list and we have private, and then must be pre-book is sub bulleted. So I press the tab key. Okay, so it becomes sub. I press the tab key. Do you see it becomes sub? So they say must be pre-booked. Okay, then requires a 10% deposit is a requires a 10% deposit. Okay, then again we come back to the bullet, which is group. So I'm going to go back. Okay, I'm going to click on this. Okay, I want to go back to the original bullet list. Okay, so I type here group, enter. Again, I have to go to sub. So for sub, we have beginners, intermediate, and advanced. I'm going to press tab to go into sub. Okay, so beginners, intermediate, and advanced. Okay. Right. Then next I need to create this table. Okay. So I'm going to press enter. I'm going to press enter again and again so that I come out of this bulleted list. Okay. Now I have to create this table over here. So let me first see how many rows and columns this table has. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it has 11 rows. How many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4. Approximately 4 columns, isn't it? So let's come to insert table. So insert table. Okay, 4 columns and 11 rows. Okay, so now comes the part of where you have to. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Windows left because I want both of these to be side by side so I can see and work. So I'm going to press Windows left, which means I want this on the left. Then my computer asks me, what do you want on the right? I select this. Okay, so I press the Windows and the left arrow key. Okay, now let me start entering the data. So, okay, so over here, I'm going to merge this entire thing. Okay, so here we have, let me where do we get merge layout? And here we have merge cells. So over here it should be Sam's Ski School. Okay. The colors, I'll do it later. For now, I'll just enter the data. This two has to be merged. So I come and merge it. And over here, I type private ski lessons. Okay. And okay, we also have something called 2020, 2021. Okay, we'll do that. Then over here we have 2 hours AM, 3 hours AM, 4 hours AM, 5 hours AM, 6 hours AM. Then we also have to say group. So this is also once again going to be this 2020, 2021. You see, if we are going to right align that, the whole thing gets right aligned. So I think what we need to do is, I'm gonna bring this back into 4 cells. Let's split this into 4 cells again. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is 2020, 2021. So I'm gonna merge these two, merge cells, and then I'm going to merge these two for 2020, 2021. Okay. Now you may tell, well, there is no line visible or border visible over here. I'll get rid of this border. Okay, just give me some time. Towards the end, I'll get rid of this border as well. Okay. Then over here, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to select these two and merge it. And over here, I'm going to type group ski lessons. And then over here, 2020, 2021. Okay. And over here we have 1 day, 3 days, 4 days. So here we have 100 pounds. So now we need to get the pound symbol, isn't it? Okay, so how do we get the pound symbol? We can come to insert and we can come to symbol. So over here we have the pound or the euro symbol. It's the euro, isn't it? So let's take the euro symbol. Euro. Okay. So let's do this again. Let's get the dollar euro sign here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste it. So thereafter, all I have to do is just change the value, isn't it? So here this becomes 200. This becomes 240. This becomes 300. 368. And this becomes 420. 100, 216. And this becomes 264. Right. So over here we have, this is pretty small. So this entire last 4 are going to be merged anyways. So let's simply merge those cells. Okay, let's zoom out so you can see better. Over here, we have these 3 that need to be made much smaller. So guys, can you see where my cursor is? This is where my cursor is, and I'm going to make it much smaller. Okay, and I'm going to do the same over here as well. Much smaller. Okay, so over here it's going to say PM. Oh, sorry, this also has to be merged with it, isn't it? So merge cells, merge all of them. Let's copy this value. So it should be how much? 210. And over here it should be 210. 20. Okay. Over here, it should be 5 days. Over here, 6 days. Over here, extra day. Let me copy and paste these values again. 282, 308. Over here, 50. Okay, there you go. Now with regard to this 2020 to 21, now let's start getting the colors in place. Okay, so this has to be a kind of a blue table design. Shading, let's get something like that. Doesn't look okay, something like this. And this has to be white color. It has to be a serif font, which is Times New Roman. And it should be 28. And it should be center, vertically and horizontally. Okay, so when you come to layout, you can see vertically and horizontally, it's center. Okay, so over here, for example, it is left center, but up on the top. Okay, it's aligned top left. This is center top. Okay, top center. Now this, it's in the middle as well as center. Okay, so this is what the question wants us to do. Over here, it should be vertically and horizontally center. So this is what we need. Okay, that's done. Over here, it should be so this text should be font size 24. It should be bold and it should be left aligned, which is already, and the color should be gray. So both of these are supposed to be gray. So let's come to shading and make it gray. Okay, this has to be right aligned. It should be size 20. And they haven't told us. Okay. Okay, so can you see this line is not visible over here? So I'm going to get rid of this line. What I'm going to do is, well, I'll keep that for the end. I'll keep that for the end. This two, when we come to border styles, shading, we go with the same color again. Okay. Once again, we do the same over here. So I'm going to use something called a format paint. I'm going to copy the same formatting that is over there, and I'm going to paste it over here. Okay, there you go. And I'm going to do the same thing over here as well. Copy the formatting, paste the formatting over here. Okay, so both of these need to be gray again. Table design, shading, make it gray. Okay, all of these need to have a kind of a, what do you call that color? Okay, so these need to be light blue. Sorry. Okay. Boxes with times, days, and monetary amounts must be set to Calibri 16. Calibri 16. Okay. Okay, Calibri, and we make it 16. Calibri, it's already Calibri in my computer, as well as all of these. There you go. Now I need to get rid of this line. So what I'll do is, let me show you what I would do. I would come to borders and I would say no border. There you go. So the border is gone. I would do the same over here. Borders, no border. The border is gone from here. If you want, you can see slightly the left, the one on the right also has lost its border. If you want, you can come over here and say, put a right border. Oh, let's undo that. That made it even worse. Okay, so let's keep it as it is. Let's keep it as it is. Okay. Then, so we have put everything that they have asked for. Let's go through the fact sheet as well. So in the fact sheet also, we have included everything that they have asked for. This is done, this is done, this is done. Anything else at the bottom? No, there isn't. Resave task B4A. So we come back and resave it. and then they tell us to print task B4A. So you can just press Control P and go ahead and print this. My device has got stuck. Let's move on to the next question. Over here, it says you have to open a new document. Okay, and the name of the document is task B4B, and you have to enter these details in it. Okay, so let's go back to our folder, right click, new Word document, and it's going to be called task B4B. We open that up and we come into the header and we type task B4B, your name, your candidate number, and your center number. So over here, there are some questions you have to answer. Explain one improvement you would make to the table. So when you look at this table, what are some of the improvements that you would make? So for example, if it was me, I wouldn't use such dark cell fill colors. Okay, so the cell shading, it's so dark. Okay, either the font has to be dark. What I mean is the font is also dark in color, the shading is also dark in color. So if it was me, I would maybe use lighter shadings. Okay, I would use lighter shadings so that the font would be much more easier to read. Okay, so that would be my improvement. So let me put it over here. Where is it? First one. Let's increase the font size. I would prefer to use lighter shadings for the table cells so that the dark colored fonts or dark colored text would be easier to read. Okay, because right now the computer, yes, you can see it well, but imagine when you print it. When you print it, you have a dark background and you have a dark font. It's going to be difficult to read. Okay, these timings and all that is going to be quite difficult to read. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That is my change. If you have any other changes and you think it's suitable, it matches, it fits, you can go ahead and write that. The next question, it says, explain one reason why save as is used rather than save when saving a file. So when you want to change the file name, okay, this particular file, you want to change its name or you want to change its location where you save it, you can go for save as. But instead, if you just want to save the changes, you just simply click on save. Okay, you have made some changes to this document and you want to save those changes, you can just go ahead and click on save. But if you want to save the changes under a different name or in a different location, you would go and click on save as. Okay, so then the computer gives you the option to change the name and it also gives you the option to save it in a different location. Okay, so what was the question? Why would we use save as? You can say save as would be used to save the changes in a file under a different name, under a different file name, or save it in a different location. Okay, so these are the two reasons you would go and click on save as when you want to change the file name or when you want to change the location of where you will be saving the file. Okay, and then the third question, which is the last question, spelling and grammar tools have been used to check some text. Explain one reason why proofreading is still required. Okay, so when it comes to a Word document, normally you can press F7 and you can have the spelling and grammar checked. But even after spelling and grammar is done, you have to also proofread it. You have to read it yourself and make sure that there are no mistakes or errors in it. So why? Why do you do that even after the computer has done the checking? So an answer could be the computer could sometimes try to correct people's names. Sometimes people's names, the computer may try to correct it. And that can cause a bigger problem because to the computer, it's a misspelled word. Okay, so that can be one reason for you to proofread. Then, for example, certain words might have been misspelled so badly that the computer couldn't figure out what is the correct word for it. Normally, you have something called autocorrect. Normally, you do spelling and grammar. Wherever there are spelling mistakes or grammatical errors, the computer will correct it for you. But if it is a mistake that the computer cannot understand, then the computer will not be able to correct it. So there might be certain spelling mistakes where the computer could not figure out what is the correct word. So it would have just let it go. Is it clear? So that could be another reason for you to do proofreading. Okay. So let me put that answer as well over here. You can say proofreading needs to be done to ensure that people's names have been spelled correctly, and also to correct the spellings of words that, not only spellings, even grammars, to correct the spellings and grammars and grammar, you can write the plural of it now, on words that the computer could not detect or could not, what do you call, correct, could not detect or correct. Okay. So this is a reason we do proofreading even after the computer has done the spelling and grammar check. Okay, so here in review, we have a spelling and grammar check where the computer will check for spelling mistakes and grammatical errors. But even after that, you should do your own proofreading as well. Okay. So guys, with that, we have come to the end of the 2021 May paper. Okay. So I hope you have really benefited from these videos. Reminding you again, guys, in the description, there is a link for you to download the papers and practice it yourself. Please do practice it. Don't just simply watch the videos. Okay, there is nothing better than practicing it. Okay, so please do make sure you practice it. And if you do come across difficulties, questions, something is not working up for you, you cannot figure out what's wrong, my contact number is there as well. You can always get in touch with me. And as soon as possible, I will try to get back to you. Okay, until then, do take care. See you. Bye-bye.